Hey guys, Redmaster here. Now this video was somewhat of a random idea that popped into my head in response to my 3K goal reached. I'll actually show you right now. 3K, I seem to have reached it. And of course the rewards were the nice legend castle, which I used for my deck here, which I will be showing you guys in a bit. And whoops, since I was there anyway. Let's go all the way back to 7G. Foil Kraken. So nice little addition to the collection there. But I made a 3K respite, kind of like, oh hey, I reached 3K. It was a goal of mine ever since Monster Island came out, or actually pre-Monster Island. The Legend Castle was around pre-Monster Island, and I wasn't able to pick it up for some time. But now that I finally did pick it up, I thought, I should maybe just tell people about it. And you guys requested a deck list, or at least some of you did. You asked, what deck did you get to what deck got you to 3,000, and a couple others like that. So I posted a deck list on the Reddit, but I would say that I would give more of an explanation and replacement strategies within the video. So here it is, my deck as mentioned on the Reddit. As you can see, it starts off pretty normal. Masuda, Ninja Training, cards that'll lower the cost of your main guys, your big guys. Ronin, it's a big damage, Rune Warrior, Fenrir, and of course the Giant. Now, me throwing the Giant in here was sort of like I'll hop on the Giant hype train and keep that going for a while. But I understand that a lot of people won't have access to the Giant, so for those of you who have 3 copies, then you don't need to worry, you can kind of just toss them in. For those of you who have maybe a little less, if you don't have copies of the Giant, say if you're missing 2, or if you have 1, or if you don't have any at all, quick recommendation would be to throw Sodin in here. Sodin's an obtainable card, of course, and he kind of plays a role in the lightning faction of it. I know the knockback you'll have to get from somewhere else, but I would throw or replace Sodin for the Giant. But let me just kind of give a run through this deck as a whole before I get into any more replacements. Like I said, Masuda and Ninja Training, both cards to lower the cost of your essential big game units. Salahar Rider as an early sort of removal for anything tricky, such as Acolytes, Ship of the Damned, Peasant/Rat combo, or even just rats in general. Wood War, your more tankier early unit. His 6 health comes into play as just generally an overall protector. Kind of gets you a bit more time to set up before you have to start pushing back. Archer, kind of the same thing, except she is based off your range aspect. Gotta be careful about the random unit. I know some people don't like that. I'm sure there's a replacement in there. I'll get to it in a bit. But Elvis Archer for the range removal there. Face of the Dragon, I like to give some of my guys, say if I don't have a Wind Mage, or if any sort of movement. Technically this is actually my movement buff. If I don't have a Wind Mage in my hand to push units like Rodin or Rune Warrior into the proper position, I can just slap Face of the Dragon on them. The attack stat does well, right? Does give it a little more use than Wind Mage, and the stealth aspect will protect it from spells and range units? Yeah, range units. So something to give a little boost to your units if they need to reach the castle or another unit. Fencer, by now, Fencer, you're going to start to pull out if you want to get some early damage, say from a 3 gold Fencer from Masuda. It's a nice bring out to help give your guys a bit more defense and even offense. Maddie, because I started the hype train on Maddie, and I wanted to keep it going. His summoning of a random mage is very helpful. Sometimes he'll summon a wind mage when I need him. Sometimes he'll summon more copies of himself. Sometimes he'll summon something somewhat useful like an Acolyte, Darkbender, or Mage Apprentice. So always nice to have Maddie in a deck. Ronin, like I explained before, decent powerhouse to a deck. If you can pull him from a Masuda drop, he'll get into 3 gold, then you'll have Wind Mage for 4, and that's immediately 7 right on the castle. So that's why I like to keep my 3 Ronins running. Wind Mage, kind of just explained why I have Wind Mage in here. A lot of movement positioning, say if I want to position any sort of my bigger units or even some of my smaller units like Fencer or Elvish Archer into proper range, I can pull out Wind Mage, knock them all 2 spaces, and I can go forward with the damage. Swordsman, because I need something around the mid-tier to hold my board control. And the Cleave is a nice touch too if I'm routing the castle and I want to bang out some other units from it. Or building removal. But that's why I keep Swordsman. Rune Warrior, he's an earlier Fenrir, and his Rampage will do wonders for the board, or even for the castle, depending on how close he is and what you plan to do with him for the next turn. Giant, your main powerhouse next to Ronin in the deck. His 10 health, his knockback, his lightning, his attack, everything about this card is very beneficial in the deck. But like I said, if you don't have one of these, I could recommend you use Shodan. He'll still produce the same damage output, you just won't have that knockback, and you'll also have 1 less health. And Fenrir for any last bit of damage you need to get on the base, or if you want to clear some guys off, the Rampage and the 4 movement will take care of anything that you need later on in the game. So I understand that some of this may not be accessible to every person in the game, especially if you're lower tier. You may not have a lot of my epic legendary counts in the deck. So I kind of want to give my opinions also on what this deck will use in terms of replacement. So I don't know if you guys need anything specific, but I kind of covered the main topic of Giant to Shodan. I'm going to kind of go around and see what I can replace other things with. I was thinking maybe Wind Mage. If you don't have him, you could play Hall of Winds. It's a bit risky, but, you know, 1 target is better than 2. Or even Frozen Storm, but that won't move your units. So I recommend Hall of Wind over Wind Mage. What else? Maddie, not Fencer, Maddie, I think I had a ninja spell. Oh, actually, no, I had a Viking spell before it. Maybe it was both. Anyway, I had, what was it? Rampage to give some of my, like, Ronin another attack, Fencer another attack. I swapped that out for Maddie, though, later on. I felt like the Rampage wasn't working as well, but if you can make Rampage work with the different movements and all that, feel free to swap that for Maddie if you want. Ice Blast, I know people prefer this to get rid of some of those pesky swarms, whether it be rats, skeletons, zombies, etc. For this, I would replace maybe Swordsman, since they're the same gold cost. But, really, no, he's a basic. I would probably swap maybe Face of the Dragon for this, because if you already got the Wind Mage or the Hall of Winds, then you kind of don't need that extra movement. So I would kind of swap out Face for Ice Blast. Elvish, Elvish. I already have the Salahar Rider in there. I'm trying to think of what else I could do. I want to say Scout. Costs are on the same. You won't have that range, and you'll have 1 less attack. But I mean, it's still can still reach units the same distance as Elvish can. So I would think Scout's a good replacement for Elvish Archer. Rune Warrior, that's a basic. You know, kind of don't really need to swap that out. If you need Okay, maybe about this. If you want to swap, if you don't have a Fenrir or only have one copy, I'll kind of just build up on the Rune Warriors then, add a third one in. I'm trying to think of everything I could replace possibly in here. Ronin, jeez. If you're desperate on Ronin, then Demon Hunter maybe? I would either go, yeah, I think I would go Demon Hunter for that one. It's 1 more gold than Ronin, but you'll get 5 attack out of Demon Hunter rather than 7. So you're gonna have to put a little extra work for that. But I'll give you a basic test through of it now. Let's play. And the most trouble I've had with it was against a lot of ninja stuff. Well, Viking pirate actually, yeah, let's go with that. We're gonna go with pirates. We'll play them. All right, so 4-4-4. Okay, we're gonna swap out the fencer because here is my power combo right here. Not good. Better. Okay, the Woodwar will come out first. Hopefully he can hold off anything that they throw early game. Salahar, that's going to follow up, and then Ronin. That's the plan. Okay, so Tree's going to come bat you in the face. Salahar's going to come up. We're still going to stick to our plan. I drew the Masuda, but I don't need him. I would have needed him earlier, say, like, in place of Woodwar, maybe. We're going to combat that wizard. We're going to put Salahar right on the base for a bit of protection there on the spot, and we're going to bring up Ronin. Now, if they're not able to kill where he is, or I mean they will, but in this situation I would be able to conserve Wind Mage and use him at another time. We're going to play Swordsman now. Actually, now that we drew Fenrir, our next plan would be to Masuta into Fenrir. Or maybe actually, what we can do is Masuta into Wind Mage. So that's about that. Oh, I didn't plan that out accordingly. Alright. Let's damage there. Okay, we're gonna conserve that. We'll end up next turn. And that's the video, essentially, guys. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that nice junk. I hope you enjoyed this Decklist video. I hope it gets you far if you plan to use it. And until next time, guys, stay gaming.